Greetings, everybody. Yes, I know I'm doing this early because around 3 o'clock today I will be going live on TikTok. So I actually do have a specific thing that I will be talking about in this video, primarily because I kept saying I was going to make a video, and why not turn it into a live? Um, but anyways, before I get to that, hi, hello, I am Fire Lotus the Witch. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that bell icon so you get all the notifications of when I post videos and or go live. And hi, hello, I'm Fire Lotus the Witch. I've been doing these for about 5 years now. 4 or 5 years now. First year here on YouTube, so that's exciting. Um, I know last week, or actually for the past week, for the past week, I've kind of been MIA. There's a reason. I started a new addiction. But this addiction slightly pays. I actually finally broke through my wall and started going live on my TikToks. And holy shit! I do not know why I've not been doing that more often, because holy shit, like the amount of just amazing those can be, primarily due to y'all, due to the community. They're amazing. Um, but yeah, so in those lives, I started talking about something that I've not actually talked about a lot when it comes to my personal craft. And I'm still actually figuring it out and actually putting it to terms so other people understand what I'm talking about, and that is a shade. A lot of people, when I said that, I've actually met two people who do have a shade um, from my TikToks. In general, I've met about four total. Um, Hello, I won't be commenting since I'm a bit busy, but I'll listen. Okay, I hope you have a great day, and thank you so much. So yeah, okay, so shades. What the fuck is a shade? It's kind of hard to explain. I will state though, the crooked path, he actually does kind of go over it a little bit, and it's basically a spirit came to me, a very, very old spirit. Good morning. A very old spirit came to me, and when I was very young and kind of in the, I was going through a lot, let's just say that. And this particular spirit introduced himself as Shade. Now, I do call them and I say them because they technically are non-binary. And I'll get into that in a little bit. But I call them them. I do have a specific name that I actually do call and talk to them. But I won't reveal that because it's like sacred. Now, with this, basically what happened, he came to me and he's kind of always been there. Moments in my life to where I couldn't physically deal with it, he came up. Multiple people have met my shade. Most of the time, there are probably 2 to 3 reactions. One, they do not like them. They're very cocky, they are very headstrong, and they are very, very confident. On top of that, some find them alluring, and other people just flat out do not like them. A lot of questions that I got when I posted a TikTok. No, they're not demons. No, they're not evil. It's nothing like that. Um, and I'm also not sure why some people do and some people don't have them. Now, there is one thing that I have linked to this after doing a shit ton of research. And by the way, just using the term shade, trying to do spiritual research before I learned DuckDuckGo was a thing. Very, very annoying. But the only thing that I've found out about it is in Cherokee lore, there is, and they know of, shades. But in their definition of a shade, it's basically a shaman. It's a person who walks between both worlds, the living and the dead. Do I consider myself that? Kind of. Not a shaman, kind of, only because I am a death witch. I work with the dead on a regular day basis. I'm also going to be making a few videos on being a death witch because there's a lot of excitement and people wanting to also take up being a death witch, but there's not a lot of information out there, and this is why. Death witch is not new. It's basically a newer term for necromancy. And that's due to Hollywood and fictional books turning necromancy into just dark shit. Anyways, shades. Okay. So he's kind of always been there to me. I've talked to one other person and they consider their shade their spirit guides. I don't necessarily think it is because I also believe they themselves also have a, we'll say, journey. The interesting thing is some of the people that I actually have met with this shade, we also realize that we've had a past life together. Um, so that's another thing. So there are two connections, past lives and so far Cherokee lore behind them. Um, Now, a lot of people that I've also talked to when it comes to shades or having a shades, this is very interesting too, because I've only met two other people that identify as female to actually have a male shade. There is another term for a female shade, but I'm not really going to release that just yet. But from my understanding, most people actually do have like a female persona of that shade. So there are different types of shades. Um, they also, I actually believe that's also the language that I can speak, whether you want to call that speaking in tongues and or light language. I believe that's where it comes from. Now, I've always been able to speak that language even since I was younger, but when Shade showed up, I learned that I could actually take that and basically use it in my magic as my personal language. Um, Now, with the shades in general, they can come and go as they please. Trust me, there have been multiple points where he's just completely left. And some people ask me, well, like, how do you know if you have one? That's the thing. Me and a person that my best friend used to be, anyways, not the point. They also have a female version, and we actually came up with a spell to actually summon them. See, the crazy thing is, I almost want to say this is like a step in, but it's not. A step in is it's not even possession. A step in is a very complex term, basically, where a spirit steps in and you kind of just step out, like completely check out. It could also be like disassociating. Um, and no, before anybody asks or for anybody who sees this, no, I do not have DID. This is not anything to do with DID. Nothing like that. I promise you, I'm not crazy. It's a spiritual thing. Now, like I said, I believe in, let me see if I have the books right beside me. He does. In this book right here, there's a chapter where he vaguely mentions something like this. Um, but there was an interesting event when it came to the shade because when I was about 25 to 26, we fully merged. Now, what does that mean? Before, it was literally like two spirits in one body. Now they're kind of mixed. There's a term when it comes to parasites and hosts to where there's a specific relationship to where both benefit from one another, so they live mutually together. That's kind of like this. As I say that, no, Shade is not a parasite. It's a very, very old spirit. That's the only term that I could ever describe what shades are. And they do have their own personality, and they are what most people would consider Loki energy. They're basically that. Um, and like I said, I've scared a few people because he's kind of came out in some of my spicier videos on other platforms. He's also came out. Now before the merge, normally my entire persona would change when he comes out. Now there are only slight and subtle changes. I've also had somebody ask, could they create a ritual to also invite this in? I would advise against it only because I don't want you accidentally inviting like a trickster spirit to come in and then that gets confused. Um, so yeah, so far that's all I've got because this is the only like talking to individual people about this and then actually going full scale on the internet, I'm still having to figure out how and certain ways that I can word it to where it actually makes sense outside of my own head. So yeah, I did want to say that. There are multiple videos that will be coming with this. Because I asked on the live that I was doing, like, would you rather just TikTok series or YouTube videos so I can go full in depth? YouTube videos, they are coming. Also, I also got invited to speak on a podcast. I don't know when or where. Well, I know where, but I don't know when or the time or date yet. So I will definitely let y'all know on that. Also, I'm continue gonna go to live Monday through Thursday. And I'm more than likely Friday, Saturday, and possibly Sunday will be the days that I will be live on TikTok. Now, the reason this is because, like I said, all of my TikToks, I'm not part of the Creator Fund. Hello, and thank you so much. I am not part of the Creator Fund, but the cool thing is when you go live, people can send you gifts. There's one thing I do slightly hate about that, and one thing that TikTok has royally, like, completely fucks people over in. With most of the money that you get from TikTok, there's a limit to before you can even withdraw it. On the lives, it's $1,000, which is just fucking insane. Um, Now, with that being said, this is going to be only on the weekends, and yes, I'm going to do it on here as well. The first, hello, um, the first one or two lives that I will be doing with this they're going to be experimental because I've never actually successfully done a live reading, only because I've never attempted it. That is going to change. Um, a, a lot of interesting things happened when I went live for the first time. My partner also got to see a different side of me, and he realized, oh, wait, holy shit, like, you're really good at this. He doesn't have time to watch my YouTube lives because he's at work. TikTok, on the other hand, he gets a notification, so he randomly jumped on. And the amount of influx that I had, at one point, two of my lives for about 2 hours, I kept 33 people constant. Um, and not to mention, I can also start doing interviews that way as well, because with live, they have a dual aspect. YouTube sadly does not. And until I get something other than my phone to be able to hold two platforms, I won't be able to do the dual lives, because my ultimate plan is to be able to do dual lives and or video doing, but live as I'm doing interviews, because a lot of people have been wanting that. So not only are you going to get the actual podcast, but you'll also be able to come over here and or theirs to be able to watch the full thing unfold. But on the weekends, I'm going to start trying to do readings, basically live readings, but my partner's going to have to be here, and I've also set up a couple of moderators on there and on here. So this is interesting because the reason I like TikTok lives as much as I hate the damn app, I can also get out there when it comes to readings, because a lot of people still do not realize, due to the fact that I'm not like a tarot reader. I'm not making videos daily to do daily pulls. Why is that? It's extremely fucking hard to do a generic daily pull for everybody. Hello. Um so yeah, but if I go live and start doing readings, then my name is getting out there versus the whole, because thanks to the whole scamming thing, the scamming epidemic that's currently going on right now, you can't randomly message someone and be like, yo, I want to read your cards, because they're going to be like, scam. You do have a talent for holding attention for sure. I've never felt the length of your lives or TikToks, if that makes sense. Thank you. And it definitely does. It definitely does. Now, I'm going to have to adjust to it, because what a lot of people don't know is when you go live, I love it due to the fact that, just like I doing these, I join live readings and pay for them there too. That's what I'm planning on doing, only because a lot of people have completely stopped using Facebook due to the most recent updates that we've got about how much data has been leaked. The only problem is there's no other platform that is set up like Facebook pages to where I don't have to pay money for a domain because I don't make enough right now. Being a witch, your spell work and your customer things will inflex, but due to the problem that I don't have a website, why is this? Well, I'm working from a phone, and it also takes money to actually be able to hold that domain and go doing it. So, and I am a professional witch. I spend the majority of my entire day either making content, researching, messaging emails, all of these things, right? And I'm getting there. I've had two companies recently reach out to me. The other one is not paid, but the other one was plain Jane. The CBD company. So I'm slowly getting there to where and I can actually fully make a living from this, because right now my partner is the main breadwinner. But due to the fact that a lot of people no longer use Facebook, my sales have completely dropped. That, and I don't have, well, it's kind of like Witchfoot's saying, ugly witchcraft. Witchcraft is not always pretty. Not to mention, I'm not going to spend $1,000 something just to have an aesthetic outlook. All of my spells, most of the spells that I have done from people, they have been extremely successful. The uncrossing that I just recently done, I normally don't, but I actually added me and my partner into it with two other, I'm not going to go into that. I actually added mine and my partner's names to this one, and holy shit, is it working? Because I got a phone call this morning that I was not expecting in the most positive way. So big things are definitely coming. It's just until I can get everything that I need to properly do everything, I'm having to do this. And TikTok lives and YouTube lives, I'll slowly be able to get there. That's one of the reasons that I'm trying to grow my following on here, is because once you get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, basically views, comments, and shares and everything like that, I start making money. Podcast, I start making money. But it's not like I'm getting paid $100. It's not like the whole TikTok creator thing. Unless you were getting 1,000 to 2,000 views every single video you post, it's not worth it. Because like I said, there is a limit to where you have to reach before you can even touch that money. Not to mention, multiple other people have done more in-depth videos on that. YouTube has fucked so many people. I mean, not YouTube. TikTok has fucked so many people up with how much they're scamming. More people, there's a reason a lot of bigger creators, they're going to YouTube, because YouTube, you make 10 times more. If I ever made a YouTube video that got 1,000 views, or say 5,000 views, or even 1,000,000 views, that's almost $1,000 right then and there. And that's what I'm trying to do. It's just I'm very unorganized, and well, I'm neurodivergent without having any type of help besides Kratom. So yeah, there's a lot of things into the works, but a big decision that me and my partner are in the works making. If we can make this, then a lot of the things that I have been lacking will be able to flow in due to, we'll say, blockages that we currently have in our lives now. And I'm also going to talk about generational curses with this as well. That's been a huge topic recently. But y'all know me. Awesome. I would love to see more here. Are you going to do the Shade series here or on TikTok? Sorry if you already covered that. I'm actually going to try to do both. I'm going to do some small videos on TikTok. If you do follow me on TikTok, you'll notice something different too. I realized, as much as I love the feature, being an educational contenter, you cannot put enough information in a 30-second video or a 60-second video. So most of my educational videos recently have been 3 minutes long. And I'm actually shocked at how many people are actually fully watching them. So with the Shade series, though, it will primarily be on here. I'm going to try to do at least 5 to 10 minute videos. I'm just having issues getting my words from here out. There will be a few of those videos where Shade will be present. Some of you will be able to sense that and others won't. I've messed with a lot of people when it comes to my Shade, because we both have different energies, if that makes any sense. It's like the friend that I had who had 2 sets of chakras. Never seen it before again, but he legit had 2 different sets of chakras. So I'm really excited about this, because it took me a while to actually get the nerve up to even do it. And here recently, what led me to going TikTok live was a dream. And normally when I have a dream like that, I go to it. Not to mention when I did, I can pick up shades usually. LOL. Oh, that is awesome. But like, I had a dream, so I was like, fuck it, I need to do this. I know what my dreams are like that. Especially if I have a dream like that that is completely abnormal and something I've never done before. Because I think I've done a TikTok live, I think 3 times before then. And in the middle of that first live, when I had that dream and then I went live, I had a deja vu. And with my spiritual practice and my magical path, that's basically stating, yo, look, you're doing it. You're on path. And what I realized through that, and to anybody who has a business where you have 1 or 2 things holding you back, listen to this. I could not find out. The video prompted me to go try and look it up, but as always, because I'm tired, I've tried to. I can't find it, and I'm curious about how others experience them, and if in fact that's what I have. Oh, that is awesome. And same, like, I love when I do meet people with it, because I get to, like, decipher the differences of them, because from what I'm realizing so far, it's almost like an actual, like, section of spirits that falls under the term shade. I almost said the name that I say to actually call them, but I'm not. There are some things that I will have to keep to myself, and that's only because I don't have permission from Shade to actually release it yet. Shades are very, very old school, and when I mean old school, you know that saying, if you know somebody's true name, you can use it again. Yeah, things like that. By the way, if I ever share the actual spell that we have, I will also have to ask the co-creator of that spell. It's very unique, and the reason that is because the other, not side effect, but the other thing that I found out about shades, me and this other person, is there is a huge sexual attraction behind the energy, especially if you like narcissistic assholes sometimes. No offense, Shade. But yeah, he's basically, the energy is kind of like that bad boy. He doesn't give a fuck, but they're also narcissist. Which is funny because I don't show any narcissistic tendencies. So it's very, very weird. And I don't really mean full on narcissist as much as just the arrogantness, but to have the confidence and the power to back it up, it's very weird. But it's very strong. Um, and then on top of that, when I merged, and if you've merged with yours, this is another thing. When I merged with mine, I had two other people there because I did not know I was doing it until I was called to. And at the moment that I was calling to, when I was doing my little spell, because it's not even a ritual really, when I was doing my spell, a fucking random thunderstorm blew out of fucking nowhere, came up. I'm talking wind, shit ton of lightning, and a shit ton of thunder and rain, and then as soon as the merged happened, it stopped and literally was just gone. The two people that were there that witnessed that was like, holy shit, what was that? Which they already knew at this point what shade was. Um, I'm also thinking that the original language to the shades are what most people now call light language and or tongues or child language. And the only reason I say that is because two of the other ones that I'd met with when I spoke to their shades, I used that language and they understood word for word what I meant. So it's that it's interesting because I've had mine. Mine came to me when I was about, I want to say 11 or 12. Really, really dark shit that was going on in my life. And next thing I know, it's just like literally a hand. It was like, hey, yo, I can help. And I've never feared my shade. It's never scared me. It's scared other people, but it's never scared me. It's never threatened by me. My partner absolutely cannot stand the motherfucker, only because their personalities clash. Um, but yeah. Now, so with that being said, let's talk about generational curses and why they are not what they seem online. What started this was a video where this woman was, I've talked about it before. You cannot move generational curses from a damn phone. Even if you're a Reiki master, I'm sorry, you cannot remove a generational curse from a phone. And why is that, you may ask? That is because generational curses, now, with this being said, yes, there are some generational curses that are legit actual curses, but we have to think of the times. We have to think of, okay, so when you've heard this saying before, mundane before magical, what we mean by that is as magical as our lives are, there are a lot of mundane aspects that magic cannot fix. The brain. Mine scared me at first, lol. I've heard two other people say that as well, just because they didn't understand like what it was at first. And as soon as they did, it kind of leveled back out. Nope, Ricky can't do it alone, even in person. Exactly, exactly. And the reason that is because what I consider a generational curse to be, it's patterns that I've repeated in multiple generations in your actual family. What do I mean by that? Your grandfather, your grandmother, your aunt, your uncle, your father, your mother, they are things that they were also taught, but also runs in the bloodstream. What am I talking about? Bipolar, mental health problems that are genetic, that run through the family, alcoholism, abuse, all of these things run through the families, and that in itself is a generational curse. What do I mean by that? For an example, my family. On my father's side, we have always been known, every male to ever be born. By the way, it's a lot. We like rarely actually give birth to female. That's also part of the curse. The second part of the curse is anger. I literally grew up and it was called, my last name's curse. And it's basically men, we have anger issues. I figured out why, and I broke the link. Why is this? Because if you grew up in a Southern family, and trigger warning, you know that there are quote unquote things that just stay in the family and they're not talked about, even in the family, right? Those are those curses. Those are the things that are not meant to be, but we've woke up and we realized, oh shit, no, wait, if I follow down these same footsteps, I'm going to repeat it, right? So what do? We break the chain. We break the link. All it takes is for one link to be broken into a chain, and what happens? It falls apart, right? Okay, so with that being said, how did I kind of break mine? Did it take a day? Fuck no. I broke mine literally a year and a half ago. What do I mean by this? So, I've been through a lot of fucking trauma. I have PTSD, I have CPTSD, complex PTSD disorder. I have bipolar manic depression. I have anxiety, agoraphobia. There's a reason I'm saying all of this. Anxiety, agoraphobia, panic attacks, all of that, right? All of the things that I just mentioned, except for bipolar, were reactions and or causes of the environment that I grew up in the early development stages. What does this mean? There is a point in time where when you were young, like a toddler or a baby, hello, thank you so much. Where our brains, depending on everything in our environment, our brain sucks that up like a sponge. For an example, in my family and a lot of others, how you got your point across when it comes to emotions or any type of conversation is the louder you get, the more shit you break, the more you get your point across, right? My partner, on the other hand, his parents raised him right, as in they literally would let him go to a friend's house or send them over to the friendly neighbor's house when they had to argue or disagree with something. They rarely ever showed any type of argument, screaming match, anything like that in front of him. So, why am I talking about this? Now, fast forward. We're both adults. We got together. Yeah, let's just say the first 3 years of our relationship was a very fucking wild one because we did not understand the communication. What I mean by that is I would scream and shout, and as soon as I screamed, he automatically just shut the fuck down. Completely shut down. He would not do anything back. And it took me until, shit, I'm 29 now, so I think 26, 25 to 26 is when it really stopped. I had that eureka moment where I'm like, wait, it's me. It's not necessarily always me, but with the communication issues, a lot of the times we would say the exact same thing, just different ways, because I'm extremely neurodivergent. He's also neurodivergent, but in different ways. I also have bipolar, so it took us learning that, but I also realized that I'm following in the same footsteps as the people before me. My older brother, my two cousins, everything that they went through as kids, they did not learn a way to express it. I did. Mine was art. This sounds exactly like my journey with my partner too. Oh, I love hearing that. That is amazing. Um, but yeah, it took time for us to figure that out. With my brothers and cousins, they spent their entire lives pushing things down. That's how we were taught. You shut up about it and you just push it down and work through, right? Me, I'm the artistic person, whether that's painting, drawing, sketching, crafting, making shit, witchcraft. That was my way to express it without even having to do. That is awesome. And see, a lot of us have, we just don't understand it until somebody points it out. Um, but they learned that that's where it's called. There's some of them are, my brothers learned. My two other cousins are still learning. But my brother finally learned that a lot of the reasons that he reacted and everything like that, it's because of the environment and how we were taught. That generational curse. Once we break that, then we break it. Um, Now, why can magic not always fix this? Before I go into this, yes, there are steps that you can do. There are crystals, there are spells, and there are rituals that can help untangle it and or slightly break it. But just knowing doing one ritual or one spell, it will not break it. I'm sorry if anybody has said that. I'm sorry if you went to someone to break it. They won't. They can't. Why? It's just like the Akasha records. It is your generational curse. You and you alone are the only thing that are going to be able to break it. And I'm sorry if any other witch disagrees with me. We will agree to disagree on that fact. And the Akasha records, it doesn't make sense to me. Why the fuck would you have Akasha records that are specifically meant for you and you alone in your soul? Why would it take another person accessing it? It doesn't. You access it every single day when you access the connected consciousness, when you have those, oh shit, those instinctual moments, those, those intentions. That is you accessing your Akasha records. If you have claircognizance, that is you accessing Akasha records. Okay. Now, generational curses. It's the same reason why I tell people if you're going to try to do a spell or try to involve witchcraft in your mental health regimen, for one, you're not going to be able to heal it. I'm sorry. Now, with that being said, with your medicine or whatever regimen you're on, add small daily rituals, add a cleansing to it, add color magic, add meditations, affirmations. There are small things that you can do on a daily basis that basically will help with it, but it won't fix it. And I know this. I've spent 10 years of my life trying to get every single fucking antidepressant spell and ritual and doing them over and doing them over. Thank you so much. And doing them over again only to realize that the only thing it did was give me a placebo effect. And then once that placebo effect ran off, well, I was back in a hole. Depression is also kind of like, we'll look at depression as it's a mind state. What do I mean by this? Obviously, it's not because it's in a chemical balance, but we know that we can slightly lift that. How do we do that? Find things that bring you joy. Find things that physically or energetically change your mood, whether that's scents, using like essential oils. With that, always dilute your essential oils. Never add 100% extract onto your skin. It will blister. It will burn. You will not have a happy day. With that being said, if you're going to mix it into water or anything like that, follow the directions. Normally, it's only 1 to 2 drops, depending on the amount of water you're using. Essential oils can be extremely deadly, especially to children and cats, and it can extremely be deadly to you. Create a list. You happy. Believe it or not, I have one. The majority of those songs on there, songs from Disney movies. You want to see my partner light up? If you ever meet him in life, play a song from Moana. He'll fucking go crazy. He loves that. He loves that entire movie. And I know I probably said that wrong. But these are things that you can do to change your perspective and or to change your energy flow. There's a spell in the 2012 Spell a Day Almanac. I love it. I don't really use the spell as in the incantation, but I use the movements of it. What is that? You're supposed to go into a dark room. Close all the curtains. It needs to be broad daylight, though. Make it as dark as possible. You say this spell. Yes, exactly. Self-love spells, cleansings, creative endeavors. Exactly. All of that. Therapy and magic. Now that can work together amazingly. But if you separate them, it's not going to work. There's a reason that if you've ever, like, you go to a mental health specialist, they really can't ask us about these, but they need to, because witchcraft and spirituality and things like that, for a person who is not on the right meds and or in the right environment, can completely cause them to become disillusional. Basically, in a way, it aids them in losing touch with reality. And y'all know what I always say. If you're going to be a witch, you've got to have 1 foot in reality and 1 foot above reality and or out of reality. It's just got to be a steady, balanced footing. And if you've ever had moments where it's like everything in your life just went fucking crazy, 9 times out of 10, if it's not something to do with your birth chart or if there's not a planet in retrograde, it is because that is the universe saying you are spiritually and physically out of balance. You need to bring them back. And I know it is not that fucking easy. Everybody is going to be different. Everybody's normal and everybody's balance is going to look differently. Hello. Oh, thank you so much. But that's what a lot of people didn't know. I had to explain that to my partner because I was like, I want this normal life. He thought I meant like picture perfect normal. And I looked at him one day and I was like, this is my normal. Like I'm a very easy person. Like one of the biggest birthday presents I wanted from my partner, which we did yesterday, was to have a stoner day with me. Literally just to sit around, get high, watch TV shows and or movies. And I got him completely hooked on Inventing Anna on Netflix. Completely hooked. He was like, I want to stop it. But at the same time, I don't want to stop it. I need to know what happens. I was like, I told you there was a reason that I would not shut up about the show. It's addicting. And yeah, I'm very happy. Bring me rocks, sticks, dead things, weed, Delta 8, CBD, and chips. And I'm the happiest motherfucker you will ever see in your life. And I literally do mean that. So many people have just like, they're like, really? And my partner's like, yeah, I'm a very simple person in the day. Anything magical, books, anything like that, bring them to me, and I will be happy as fuck. I will become your best friend. Bring me a stick. I'm like a dog. Um, or a goblin. Also, update with the crows. Yes, I said the crows. Um, I think I've talked about that on here. Okay, if you did not know, I'm building a relationship with the crows in my neighborhood. And it's working well, except for I've recently been having an issue with the newer kittens that were born on Halloween. Which are Spade? Yeah, they're Spade, Mrs. Gremlin, and Soot, right? So what fucking Spade or HQ, depending on how you want to call him. He's got a little heart on his nose, so it looks like a spade. We thought he was a female. He's a male, and apparently he used to be a fucking dog in his past life because he literally was charging at the crows yesterday. Every time the fucking crows would come down and land, he would literally run up there with his tail all puffed up. It was like he was a dog, right? So I was like, either that or they would follow me, go down there, and they would eat the food that I was trying to give the crows, right? So I was like, fuck, how am I gonna. I finally found unsalted peanuts. They fucking love them. I wish I could stay, but I hope you have an amazing day, and I hope you get your favorite foods and do something fun. Oh, thank you, and I hope you have a great day too. And actually, my day is gonna be very simple. Actually, we had spaghetti tonight. Might have Subway tonight. That's one of my favorite foods. And other than that, though, I'll be chilling here. It's one of the reasons I jumped on here so early is because at 3 o'clock I will be jumping on my TikTok live for a birthday bash and a secret follow party. We gotta keep that hush hush though. The reason I said that is because the last time we were on there, I went live like after hours, as in I was blitzed out of my mind. And it was so funny too because we have to talk in codes on TikTok because of their AI system. And my partner had actually got me some real green shit. Um Strap on spelled backwards is no parts. Well, there you go. You learn something new every day. Um but he actually got like real grade weed. And I'm not used to that. So like we were like so I'm normally used to the GMO tomatoes, but now I've got the real tomatoes and yeah, it was fun. Um but I love it. I found some very good creators. Yeah, TikTok it can be amazing. Very toxic but very very amazing. Um and during that live, we had other people that were trying to get to 1,000 so they could also go live even if they don't make content. The problem is, though, if you advertise that it's a follow party, it attracts trolls. So it's going to be a secret follow party, which is you don't have to follow everybody, but if you find somebody in the comments that you actually like click with, totally follow each other. I love it. I found some very good creators. I'll set an alarm to join the TikTok live later too. Sweet. I don't have it, but I have it. Oh, very cool. Um, But yeah, that's the plans for today. I'm probably gonna binge watch some TV show or movie later on tonight. Um, but yeah, and for anybody who did not know, because I always plug myself in my videos, I do custom spell work, as in you come to me, we have a magical consultation, and then depending on that consultation is your custom spell. Prices range. They're affordable, but at the same time, I did have to slightly raise my prices because most of the things that I use have also went up in price. I do Oracle readings. I do that either Facebook page, Instagram, and or my email. I'm trying to get it more to my email. My email is firelotusthewitch@gmail.com. Just message me and say reading. I primarily have two readings just because those two readings primarily do everything. Those two readings being I have a 10 card pool, which is either one question with 10 cards or two questions with 5 cards each, and or a full reading, and the full reading gets you 6 questions, and yeah, normally within those 6 questions, everything is answered right then and there. And then I have Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal. They're all linked in my link tree. Literally, if you want one, all you have to do is email me. It does not have to be that day. You can email me. Can you make your own? May I ask? Can you make your own spell? Yeah, that's what I do. Most of my spells don't come from books. I make them depending on the person that wants them. And then I do them. On top of that, when it comes to the spell work, I will update you periodically, basically like everything that I do, and then the actual night and or day of that I do it, I will update you in the process of how it's burning. Most of the time that's going to be through pictures due to the fact emailing videos fucking sucks. But yeah, most of that would be through like pictures, and if I have your permission, I will also post it on TikTok. Whether you want me to tag you in that's completely up to you. It also helps me get more advertisement out there that like I'm actually doing. And one of the reasons that I liked going on TikTok live is because a lot of people who joined in, they're like, "Holy shit, you really are knowledgeable." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know. That doesn't come off in my videos. That's okay too." Um Plus, with the lives, thanks to these on my Facebook, I love them because I get to talk about things that I don't normally get to talk about. Plus, I can keep up with all the comments because I'm used to doing lives on here and those. I will admit, there was one point where the comment section literally got away from me, but that was cool too because multiple people were having conversations in the comments. So like if you do have a TikTok, I understand a lot of people do not have TikToks, which is why I still do these. Um, and I eventually am going to have to get rid of my Facebook page because at this point it's not really doing anything. But I know I also have a specific people that only use Facebook. And y'all know me. I try to hit every platform to the point where I had somebody suggesting I start doing a Stitch or Twitch stream. Thank you. But yes, depending on what you need is basically how I'll do the spell. Most of my spells are candle-based magic. How soon are you planning on doing the Shade series? I'm hopefully going to start the first video today. I don't know, depending on how much I can get in one video, of how many series there are going to be. And I'm going to try to find resources and link them in the video, but like I said, I only found one website, due to the fact that Shade is in so many fucking other things, World of Warcraft, all this other shit. Like, nobody has ever, somebody needs to, create a fully functional, like full-on in-depth just metaphysical witchcraft terminology like website to where literally it's nothing, you type it in and it pulls it up like a giant online encyclopedia slash dictionary. Because the ones that I've seen absolutely fucking suck. Completely suck. I think that was all I covered. Yeah. And then with the community services, any community service, like the uncrossing one, because the candles that I use, they're anywhere from 8 to 6 hours. So after those are burned, which this last one did not fully burn, so I've been periodically burning, and then it's also going to be burned on every full moon and new moon or any other celestial event that I can pull from, because we will have an eclipse coming up in May. Very powerful energy. Very, very chaotic, but I like chaotic energy. I flourish in chaotic energy. But yeah, with the spell work, that's how it works, depending on what you do. I do baneful workings, but it has to be a very, very specific scenario. I do not do anything regarding court systems or law or the law. Just don't do that. Some states you can actually get in trouble for that. So yeah, no. Everything else is basically on the table. I specialize in a way, as in I'm really good at them. Fertility spells, love spells, not to make somebody that has no idea who you are to fall in love with you, but to help you find somebody else and or to respark the spark in your relationship. I've done multiple self-love spells. I've done one quit smoking spell. I haven't got an update, so I don't know how it's doing. And yeah, just in general, I've saved a 54-year marriage. So many other things that I've done. Now, with that being said, not all magic is 100% guaranteed, and I tell anybody who comes to me the exact same thing. Not all magic is 100% guaranteed, and you yourself will also have homework and footwork to do. Depending on the spell is depending on what you're going to have to do. I also do cord cuttings, obviously uncrossings, road openings. Um, let's see. I think I covered them all. I think. Yeah, basically I covered all the ones that I do, and again, there's also the custom spell, which is literally depending on your situation, you get a custom spell that will be done for you. Um, so yeah, That's all the services that I do. There will be more services coming along as I also further them. One of them will be to help you figure out what deity is reaching out to you. I haven't figured out how I'm going to do that one yet. Um, and then there are two other ones that will also be coming along with that as well. So yeah, those are the services that I provide. And like I said, at any point in time, normally though, when it comes to a reading, normally I only do those Monday through Thursday because Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, depending on the week, is depending on what I'm doing, and I want to be here at my property when I do them, because all of my readings are on this board right here. And this board was created from my partner, or my partner created it for me, but it is specifically made to where no negative energy or anything like that can even be created and like done with that board. So that's what I do all my readings with. Quick question. Can shades appear as an animal of some sort? Ooh, that's actually a good question. I would say no, only because imagine if another spirit, full on spirit, um, just walked up to you and was like, "Yo, I can help." And depending on where you shake its hand is, but no. From what I understand, no. I've never met one. That could be yours. I don't know. I would have to consult my shade, which is very weird to say. But no, I don't think so. Um, like I said, they're literally spirits. We used a different term back then, but I'm not using that term on the internet because so many people would get this ass backwards. Um, and like I I didn't even know if I was gonna make the video because I was like, I don't want this to sound like I'm excluding people or anything like that, or to add those little things that other people want. That's not that. It's just in order for me to figure this out, I have to meet other people like that. Now, there is a small theory that I did have with me and another friend, which was basically it's almost like a psychic vampire, with the only aspect being meeting another psychic vampire, if you don't know you are one, awakens that in you. I believe the same possibly is with shades. Whether they come to you from the stories that I've gotten so far, it's all around the same thing. Normally they come to people in their early like teenage years, adolescence years. Um, and either one, they've been there and you just don't know it. Or B, you just kind of what I said before, like you don't realize they're there until it's actually like it clicks in your head. Mine was different though because mine came to me in a time of actual desperate need. And I would say he's been there ever since, but he's left multiple times. The longest he's left was for about a year. And no, I have no idea where he goes or what he does. He will not tell me at all. And yes, you can argue with them. Traumatic moments will make you notice them. Yes, that's what I believe too. It's the traumatic aspect of it that where they kind of come to light. So it very well could be shades are with us from the moment of birth. It's just like they're not activated until they're needed. Um, but very interested to see because the first one that I met outside of me, we had very, very similar aspects with the family, as in at one point in time, we may have, like, we still may be actual cousins, or at least distant cousins, because they have the same saying in their family as well, which is like they have a specific saying with their family when it comes to anger. I think I've met mine. What is the best way to tell if they are here? I specifically was just somebody asked me that and I was like, try to come up with your own way, whether if you want to do that in like a ceremonial way or if you just want to, depending on how you bat with your spirits, straight up ask. You'll definitely know, and this is not going, if you've never spoken to a shade, but you've spoken to like deities or spirits before, it's nothing like that. You will know if you have one. It's very hard to put into words the feeling because it's not a bad feeling. It's just imagine if you were scrolling through the woods and all of a sudden one of the oldest spirit force came out and talked to you. Like that authoritating oldness, you'll know. My old boss had one too. He was shocked when I saw his shade and called it by its preferred earthly name. Oh, holy shit, I would be too. Nobody's ever done that before. I've had two people that they picked up on something, but they could never figure out what it is. And I love it because like, oh, it's a mood. Literally, it's a whole mood. Um, and like I said, like even if he does come forward, and when I mean he comes forward, I mean, like literally, I kind of just like check out. But I'm still aware of everything that he does. It's not like he's gonna start controlling your body and doing things that you're not aware of and or want. No, he's not gonna do anything. Shades don't do anything to put us in danger. If anything, they do things to empower us. Trust me, they like it when you kind of start mimicking in a way their personality because their personality, a lot of it's going to be things that you lack, not on like a magical level, on an actual person level, like personality level. Um, they kind of have everything that you lack. It's very, very weird. Especially when you merge, because you'll get used to kind of talking to it like you normally do. And then boom, it's kind of like it's like having thoughts in your it's like having two sets of thoughts in your head, but you can actually hear their voice. Or see, I've never actually said that before. Not really hear their voice because it's not like you hear voices, but you'll know the difference between yours and its. A lot of people's shades will actually hang out around them. Mine prefers to be in me. Oh, that sounds so weird. To be in me, especially since we merged. So yeah, but yeah, you can see shades. There are some people who can, and yeah, it's a whole thing. And I'm hoping to, with these videos, I don't want to rush making them because I want to make sure that I get all the things out. May I ask what shade is exactly and what do they look like? Our voice, they become part of you. Um, I mean, they look like us. They look like people. I will say they look like people, but they look like people that were printed off in magazines. Like they completely look like they were just printed online. Um, in other words, they don't really have flaws. If anything, they have the opposite of flaws. They have scars and stuff like that, but like they almost look perfect. That's one of the reasons the whole sex appeal is there. Male and female, or non-binary wise, a lot of people will find them sexually appealing, and it's primarily due to, like I said, their cockiness and confidence that they show. They can also bring, like I said, bring something. They'll basically also teach you things as well. But most of the things they teach you are not things to be shared. Why, I have no idea. There are certain people that you will meet and your shade will be like, nope, go the fuck another way. 9 times out of 10, listen to them. Trust me, you don't want to not listen to them and then have to deal with them telling you, I told you so, over and over again. Um, so when I tell you this, like, they have their own personalities and they will piss you off and irritate the fuck out of you. Normally, depending on your personality, my personalities or my shade, he's an asshole and a dick. Um, it just depends on his day. But like I said, the only other term that I can describe is go on TikTok or YouTube and type in like Loki practitioners and just listen to all the crazy like stories of Loki's energy, and that's kind of shades. Straight up shades. But yeah, for now I'm gonna go ahead and call this one. That way I can eat and do a few other things before I prep to go live on there. But yeah, until then, like I said, if y'all ever want a reading or anything like that, all you have to do is just email me, firelotusthewitch@gmail.com, and just type in, like, have it titled reading, anything like that. Normally, I'm very good at answering emails. Literally within 5 minutes of receiving it, I'm answering it. Um, so yeah, just know that if you do email me for the readings or spell work or anything like that, I will get to them when I possibly can. Most of them will periodically be in the daytime because I don't like really doing them at night that much. Um, But yeah, and you can also just like if you don't have the money right now, just like reserve a day and time. You can totally do that too because I'll put it in my phone's calendar so it'll remind me. So yeah. Until then, thank you for everybody who has stopped in, who has stayed, who has liked, shared, all of that. Thank y'all so much. And until then, I will see y'all later. Peace.